It's good now.
Okay. All right, we are live. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
This is Jen, and we're going to talk here in a few minutes. We're going to give everybody a chance to get on. Let me know if you can hear me in the comments because we were having a little technical difficulties trying to get everything going on here. Making sure. Okay, I got both devices on. Hi, Jennifer.
Oh, I got to Jennifer this weekend.
Oh, yeah. At the Ohio?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, let's see. There's hi, Heath. I always want to say hungry. And I'm like, Heath. Hi, Heath.
I'm honored. He paused his wrestling.
Oh, there's my. I turn my volume down on that. That might be the audio problem because I had my phone on. Okay. Hi, Susan. Mary T.
I'm so happy you made it home okay.
Yeah, she had some good pictures, didn't she?
Yes.
All right. Hi, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
Y'all let us know if you can hear us pretty good. I was having some technical difficulties, and then, first time doing this. I don't know what I'm doing, so bear with me. Hi, Brianna. Who else is on? Let's see. If I missed you, hey, everybody, hey. Love that we're getting all the WAC family on here.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna get started. We sound great. Okay, good. My end, my camera it looks like it's flashing. I don't know if that's what you guys see, but so good. Just making sure. Just want to make sure that we all can see and hear and all the things. So this is Jen Delaney, for those of you who don't know, but most of you probably know Jen, who are on here that I can see. I met her at Keto Palooza, so she's new to me, a new friend to me, and I'm so glad to have met her. And those of you who are new to me, I'm Lindy, aka Paleobarbie. Paleobarbie does keto. So if you're new to my channel, if you could give us a big thumbs up and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel. I have a goal to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So share the stream, tell your friends about the channel, watch the channel, all the things, do all the YouTube-y things. I'd appreciate it. And we'll get started here talking to Jen. But Jen's going to tell us a little bit about her journey. We all have a weight loss journey. Obviously, and we all have ups and downs and all arounds and all the things, right? And she's got a great story. So I'm going to just let her, first of all, introduce herself and tell us a little bit about herself and like her everyday self stuff. And then you can tell us about your journey, what brought you to keto and all those kinds of things. And then we'll just I'll ask you some questions here and there.
Awesome. Okay. Well, my name's Jen Delaney. I'm based out of Louisville, Kentucky. I'm fortunate to live like a mile away from Autumn. That's kind of a funny story, but I don't know what to say. I live in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm a proud member of the WAC fam and of the keto community. I don't really do the YouTube-y things or anything like that. I don't have a channel or anything. I have always been wanting to be the behind the scenes person, helping make other people successful. That's always been my goal in life. And so that's why I love going out and supporting other channels like yours and like Hungry Heaths and Radical Geeks and Two Crazy Ketos and just popping in and being as positive and helpful in those spaces as I can. I don't really have the drive or desire or discipline to do my own. So that's who I am right now. As for my my weight loss journey, I am a food addict. I have been. I remember being 5 years old and shoveling fistfuls of cereal in my mouth. I remember stealing tasty cakes and Pepsis from my parents and my grandparents. I mean, it got so bad my grandparents would put a lock on their deep freezer because I would just get into the food. Of course, I didn't know what I was doing or why I was doing it. But my food addiction goes back that far. And I know that stems from, I am a survivor of abuse. When I was a kid, I had mental, physical, and sexual abuse in my history. And for a long time, that wasn't really talked about. And it wasn't addressed. And I felt like I didn't want to say that I was a victim of abuse or a survivor of abuse. So it took me a long time to deal with that. And that really led to a lot of my weight issues and a lot of my mental issues growing up and going through my 20s even. I'm so fortunate that I married such a wonderful man. My husband, Brian, a lot of you have had the chance to meet him. I tell you, for the first literally 10 years of our marriage, I kept expecting him to walk out the door. That's what I expected. I wasn't worthy of him. And I figured that he would just wake up and, leave one day because he would realize. But thankfully, I mean, we've been married going on 23 years now. And I'm just so blessed that I have him in my life. And he's helped me realize so much about my self-worth. And stuck with me all this time. So I watched a video about Dr. Seiwitz one time, and he talked about passively killing yourself with food. And that was like a light bulb moment for me. That was exactly what I was doing. I was overeating, and I was eating to the point where like I just wanted it to end. I just didn't care. Mm. And I tried to be like, oh, I'm just embracing the positive movement, and sorry about you having to watch your weight over there. I'm going to eat my 3 triple cheeseburgers and enjoy it. But really, I was hating on myself, and that's what you're doing when you're eating like that. Then in 2018, I had a pain in my side, and I went to the doctor. And it turns out that I had a 6-inch cyst on my ovary, and it was cancerous, and it had to come out. And went through surgery with the cancer doc. He's a great doc, no bedside manner. Basically told me, I basically had to split you in half to get this out. It's going to come back. You're gonna die if it comes back. You need to lose weight. You need to lose weight now because we need to do a full hysterectomy. And I guess there's 2 things that happened that year: being faced with my mortality like that, and being told straight up like, what was what. And then also my best friend was pregnant with twins, and I really wanted to be around for those twins. So those 2 things really helped change my mindset. And my doctor said, like, weight loss surgery is the only way for you to go. You have to go. That's the only thing that's going to help you now. You are beyond help. So I started that process, and anybody that's been through it, I had a gastric sleeve. It's not immediate. You have to go through the training. You got to get on a wait list. You got to get the insurance. And so there was about 6 months there while I was getting that all in order that I started keto. Now, my heaviest weight, I was somewhere in the 390s. That was my heaviest weight. And then during the 6 months going up to the surgery, I had to lose weight for them to even do the surgery. And I did the dirtiest, nastiest keto. Like, you talk about net carb math, I was the expert. um, so, but I'd still managed to lose 60 pounds doing it over 6 months. So, that's where I was. And I had my gastric sleeve in March of 2019. So after that, I did not lose a single pound for like 4 months. And I remember going to the doctor's office and like crying and like, I'm the only person that's ever had gastric bypass surgery or gastric sleeve surgery and is not losing a single pound. Like, how am I failing at I can't eat. How am I failing at this? But I guess it was my body healing, trying to get all the hormones back in check and all the, they say that you have to heal before you can start losing weight. And I did, I was in the gym all the time. And for the next year, weight loss was my thing. And my lowest weight, I got down to like 240 in a year. So I lost 90 pounds in a year after that gastric sleeve surgery, which is good, but like, it's not as good as other people have had. And then in 2020, we all know what happened. March 2020, the world closed. The world closed down. Families stopped getting together. Worked from home. My mom lived with us at the time, and that was not a good situation. I just the depression came on hard. I went through a very bad depression. I pulled away from, I got out of social media. I shut down. It was really bad. I had a friend at work that if I didn't log into work, she was texting me going, "I need to know you're okay." That's how bad it was. And over that next year and a half, I put all my weight back on, or I got back up to 360. And luckily during that time, Autumn and the WAC fam reached out to me. They left me notes telling me that they wanted me to come back, but I wasn't ready. And then Autumn and her mom showed up at my door, literally, knocked on the door one Friday night. And I know my husband was thankful because he was at his wit's end what to do with me. And that really started me coming back. And then Ketopalooza last year in 2021 was really I tell everybody that Ketopalooza 2021 saved my life. And it's not an exaggeration, because it really turned around. The people that I had made connections with, they didn't care that I had been gone for so long. They didn't care. They were just happy to see me. They didn't care that I had put weight back on. They didn't care. That's what this community is. They just are happy you're here. And that's what I say. It doesn't matter how many times you come through that door. As long as you come back, you're always going to be welcome here. So this last year I've been keto and starting to work out again. And then the weight is not coming off as fast this time. I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Oh, I've heard that a lot from people who have fallen off and gotten back on, that they're like, it's not happening as quick this time.
Exactly. But I'm okay with that, because this time I'm in it for the health, and I'm in it for the mental health. I do not ever want to be that depressed and that lost ever again. And if not eating donuts and not eating candy, if that's what it takes, then I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my story for right now, up to now.
So you got back on, and now you just recently started BBBE, right?
Yeah, so actually after Ketopalooza last year, I did do BBBE in October, just to help break those sugar cravings and break the get used to my satiety again, and everything. And it went really well. And my husband started keto with me. He wasn't doing BBB&E, but he was doing, the low carb. He helped me, he was with me. So that really helped. And then now I have a challenge that I made for myself, because the last couple of months I've had some stress on me. It's good stress. I started a new position at a job that I love. We had the Proper Human Diet Summit. We had Keto Palooza, which I was helping Autumn with. I mean, it was all good stress. There is good stress out there that but things started slipping. Like my sleep started suffering, and if my sleep suffers, I'm not getting up to work out. And I started snacking, and if I start snacking, I start binging. So I created this challenge. Well, actually, Maitreya said that she was doing BB&E from October 16th for 30 days, and I was like, wow. Mind blown. You don't have to start BB&E on the first of a month. I mean,
imagine that, right? Start your own day.
It didn't start on a Monday, and it didn't start on the first of the month. Go figure.
I started my thing on the 10th, so we're good.
That's what I'm doing now to get those things in line, because I do have seasonal affective disorder, and I don't want like things to go off the rails and then that feed into seasonal affective disorder, and the next thing you know, it's March and I'm digging myself out of a black hole. So that's what I'm doing now, to get my workouts and my sleep and my eating back and keep it in check.
That's good. That's good. I heard the other day on your Facebook, you were talking about tips or things that you do to help with keeping yourself from binging. Could you share that with everybody?
Yes. So binging is a thing, is a real danger for me. And sometimes it's just mindless. That's the worst part of it. So one thing is, like, I work in my office. I don't keep snacks in here. In fact, I try not to eat in my office at all, because I work from home, and I'm in this room 8 to 12 hours a day. So I try not to eat in here. The other thing is, I have to watch what I consume media wise. Like, I used to love the Food Network show, or Network in general. I can't just stream Food Network, because that plants those little cravings, and the next thing you know, I'm ordering a pizza or making even if it's a mug cake or something, it's not something I planned, and it leads to a binge. Even review videos, because I have FOMO. I have such fear of FOMO. This fear of missing out. So like, I have to monitor what I watch there. And then I have like the snacks that we have. My husband works long hours at nights, so he relies on those keto bars and those keto snacks. So like, they're all in one area of the kitchen, and like, in my head, I hear like warning klaxons or sirens every time I walk over to that corner of the kitchen. So I try to stay away from over there. Those are things that I do to keep from binging.
Those are good tips. I mean, I think definitely social media and television has an effect on people. I mean, obviously commercials. I mean, every time you turn the TV on, there's a pizza commercial or something, and it's just so hard to watch something and not see it. So I can imagine, just anything like that. I mean, somebody at work today was talking about something. I can't remember what it was. They were talking about cooking to eat, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds so good."
Yes.
So it's like, I can see like how that could trigger, those kinds of things.
Another thing, like, I just stay angry. Like, I kind of look at it as like they're trying to take my money, they're trying to take my health, and I'm not going to let them. So, I mean, that's kind of silly, but that sometimes that's what keeps me from going through the drive-through, or getting that cupcake or donut or something. So
yeah. So earlier you talked about like, you were trying to do the whole body positivity thing or whatever. How do you feel about celebrities that are heavy, that are basically happy, and they're like, I'm happy, this is me, this is my body?
I have no problems with that. I think every body type is beautiful, and I recently have, like, I think, accepted that maybe I'm beautiful too.
Push is beautiful.
But no, I don't. What I was using, the whole body plus positivity, that when I was using it, I was not using it in a body positive plus way. I was using it as a like, an excuse to
Right.
be unhealthy. Um,
Yeah,
no,
right.
I have no problems. Like, I think everybody is beautiful and should be positive.
Right, right. I think what I was trying to say was basically, I think they're all beautiful, but I think maybe some of them have that mindset too, that they just don't want to admit that they are just using that, as an excuse to be unhealthy. You know, that's what I was kind of, I think probably the same thing as you do about that. So tell us, or tell people that are on here who have never been to Ketopalooza, because you told us a little bit about how last year it saved your life. And I talked about it a little bit in my interview that I did with Alan and Michelle, how different it was for me, because it was my first time going, from all the other keto things I've been to. How it was just like we went, and it was like we were family, like we all just had so much fun and hung out. So tell them your perspective on that. Like, how do you feel about when we go to the Ketopalooza?
I think it's less about the speakers. The speakers are great, but it's more about the social aspect and the family vibe. Autumn works really hard to make it a comfortable event, and there's a lot of free time for socializing. I love the fact that the speakers are not like squirreled. They don't have a green room. They're out there with you. You can go up to Dr. Barry and ask him a question. You can go hug Nurse Cindy. So that it's more like a social gathering. I mean, you get the swag bag, you get everybody's so happy to see each other, and the speakers are kind of like ancillary to it. I mean, they're important and they have great message, and I think that the speakers pick up on that. It's more of a casual vibe.
Right.
That their presentations are more positive and lightweight, but still useful. Not, but that's what Ketopalooza is. It's just fun, get together. We talk all the time on all these live streams, and we chat on Facebook and all these message boards. And this is us just continuing that in person and getting to wrap your arms around each other. And it's life changing.
Yeah, it was for me. I mean, I felt like, because I know that her idea of it originally was it to be like a family reunion. And for me, it felt like that, but it also felt kind of like a retreat at the same time. If you've ever been on like a weekend retreat type of thing, where you're getting nourished with all this information, but yet you're also getting loved on by all your friends and that you're there with at the thing. So I felt like it was very much like that too.
You leave feeling just so loved, empowered, and inspired. I mean, how many people have started posting daily on, like, me, I started posting daily on Facebook. A couple of other people have started doing that. A couple other people have started posting on their channels more. It's so inspiring and empowering. And it makes you feel like you can do it. Like, I can do this. I can do hard things, and I'm worthy of it. So.
Yeah, you are. Oh, so Jeannie Batts said, "Jen, you are beautiful." In the comments.
Thank you.
Oh, awesome. So anybody in the chat have any questions for Jen that you want to ask? We will just shoot them in there, and I'll read them. We'll read them to her. I haven't figured out the whole put the thing on the screen yet. Michelle, you might have to walk me through it. I'm assuming it has to do with the banners. Let's see if there's any questions. I'm going to scroll back up and see if we missed anyone else also. Let's see. I think I got all of them. Matreya's in here. Jennifer Lucas says, my daughter has had her entire stomach removed, but it was probably a year before she was losing weight, and a few years before she had before she had any control with her weight loss. So it's
Good.
definitely not a quick fix, right?
Yeah, I'm glad. It has made me feel a lot better. Finding out how many people have had some sort of gastric surgery and not been successful keeping the weight off. Just because, I mean, it doesn't address the binge eating. It doesn't address the mental part.
Right.
And then the nutrition that they tell you to follow is not, it's not the proper human diet.
Right.
So yeah, I'm glad that, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel less of a failure, I guess. Like it's something wrong with the procedure, not wrong with the, how many people have failed to lose weight, and it's like, oh, it's me. I'm not doing it right. It's something, but no, it's the process. It's the procedure that you're doing.
Right. So Maitreya wants to know, is the plain water getting any easier?
Not really, but it's there.
Because you like your flavored electrolytes, is that why?
Yes, yeah. I was drinking a tub of Redmond's a month. Yeah, I really like I don't like plain water. I have my unsweetened tea here as well.
I'll tell you, that's one thing that 75 Hard, like, that was one of the hardest things for me when I started doing that, was not putting anything in my water, because you're not allowed to. And it was just like, oh, why can't we just put a lemon in our water?
Yes.
But Michelle wants to know, do you track your foods? And if so, on what app?
I have a membership to Chronometer, and I do track, but I'm not consistent. Consistency is not my strong point. Tracking makes me sad and angry. So I don't do it as much as I should. And with doing BB&E, I'm not doing it right now. So.
Okay.
I like different recipes and everything, and it's just so annoying for me to go in and enter a recipe and then figure out how much I'm eating, and then or how much of it I'm eating, and then also I have worked very hard to get out of the Clean Plate Club. That's part of that. You eat until your plate's full or empty.
When my grandkids, when I make their plates, I put very small portions on there because I grew up in the Clean Your Plate Club, and so I don't want them to feel like cleaning their plate is like because we cleaned our plate, we had like a ton of food on our plate too, but I don't want them to ever feel. I want them to know, like, when they get full, they can stop. But I give them small portions, and then if they want more, they can get more. So we start.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I find it very funny that the food was piled on the plate and wasn't allowed to leave the table until the food was gone. But as soon as I got old enough to start making my own plate, I started getting criticized for everything I put on it. At least that's with me growing up. I think that's funny. Like, there's the Clean Plate Club, and then when you start making your own plate.
Yeah, for sure. So Michelle says, Triple B&E, does it feel strict?
Right now, it doesn't. I'm only on day 3 of it. I've been cooking a lot of recipes and everything, and like chili. Like, chili is our big go-to in this house. I have so many different chili recipes. I am enjoying not having to chop up vegetables. So.
I do love the simplicity of carnivore. I mean, as I'm not doing that one, but I'm doing carnivore right now, and I like the simplicity of, I just got to heat up whatever meat I have prepped and do what I'm going to do with it, and that's it. I don't have to have a bunch of stuff, so it is pretty simple.
Yeah, it's not strict right now. Check back with me in a week. Let's see when I'm when I want that slice of cheese on my burger. Or
that was my biggest thing, was I missed cheese so much when I only did it for a week. I've done carnivore many times for a month at a time or more. Usually during the holidays, I'm always doing carnivore around, except on the holiday, just because it's a good way for me to keep myself in check with all the stuff that's around, like you were saying. And but I did BBB and E for a week, and I was like, okay, I can't do this. It just wasn't the right time, I guess, or something. I could probably revisit it later, but I love beef. That's like my favorite meat.
Right.
So I think if I could have ribeye every day, like Dr. Berry, I think I would probably been okay.
Yeah, I have found that since I had my gastric sleeve, vegetables don't agree with me, especially raw vegetables. Raw vegetables will tear up my stomach. So, yeah, BB carnivore really works better for me.
Yeah. Okay, Brianna said, my only issue with BBB and E is black coffee. I miss cream. I don't use sweetener, though. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons I'm doing carnivore, because I'm doing cream, but I'm measuring out my cream. But so you guys aren't doing any cream?
No, because I was
right.
And with me, my coffee was becoming a flavor bomb. It was becoming Jordan skinny syrups, and it was becoming heavy cream, and let me throw some butter in there, and it was becoming a meal. It was getting a little out of control. So that's why I'm toning it back. So
Matreya says, it feels strict to me. I am fine with the strictness, but missing my water meats.
Salmon and fish and stuff. So I don't like fish, so I'm okay with that.
Okay, I get it, girl. I get it. Let's see.
So yeah, I can't see me being triple B and E forever, but this is a really good time for me to do this, just because of where it falls in the year, and it'll help me get back on track. And then it ends right before Thanksgiving. And then it ends. Then we go through the holidays, and I think it'll help me with my mindset and keep me going on track during those times. And really, one of the big reasons I wanted to do it now was because of Halloween. Candy. It still does, like, candy's the one thing, and it's going to be surrounded by candy at Halloween.
Right.
And so if I'm not doing that, and I'm telling everybody I am not having candy, don't let me have candy, then,
Yeah, I'm betting that Halloween is a big trigger if you have a binge issue, I'm sure, because not only, even with keto candies and things,
yes,
but like, there's candy. They started putting Halloween candy out in July,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, really? Do we really need Halloween candy right now? Michelle said that brown butter stuff sounds fire. What is the brown butter?
So I made brown butter. I went to the Carnivore Twins channel, and they made it, and I did it just like they did. They melted like 4 sticks of butter over 2 to 3 level, if you have a stove with that has the numbers 0 through 10 or whatever, and you just let it go, and for about 17 to 20 minutes, stirring it. You want it like a chocolatey brown, not burnt. And then you can either pour it into molds and have little fat bombs, or you cool it until it starts chilling up just a little bit, and then you whip it with mixers. It's fantastic. It tastes nutty. It tastes sweet, even though there's nothing in it but butter. And I have been putting that in my black coffee, and it is fantastic. Like, I think Jordan's skinny syrups just lost a customer, because I don't think I need that sweetener in my coffee anymore.
I might have to try that. That sounds delicious.
It whips up nice and fluffy, and you can leave it out on the counter. It's phenomenal.
Awesome. I used to put butter in my coffee all the time when I first started keto, and then I kind of slacked off on it because I was trying to tweak some things. And now, since I'm doing carnivore, I've been kind of getting back to those things a little bit. Oh, okay. She's leaving. Okay, no problem, Michelle.
Yeah. I just I'm glad everybody's here today. I want to express my appreciation again for the keto community, and I just keep meeting new people, like meeting you, and I got to meet Shelly in person, and so many, all these channels. I love that. One of my takeaways is that you don't have to do this journey alone, but you have to do it. Like nobody's going to lock you in their barn and feed you meat, like Dr. Berry says. You have to make the decisions and take the actions, but there are plenty of people here to support you. So yeah, and there's always all sorts of resources out there. Whether you need medical information, whether you need just a cheerleader, whether you need somebody to vent to, whether you need recipes,
Right.
there's always some place that you can find whatever you need when you need it. It's a vast pool, and it's just a blessing.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have one of the best weight loss and health communities there are, because I can tell you that I never felt this loved when I went to Weight Watchers. I don't know about you guys who've been to Weight Watcher meetings, but I never felt this loved when I went to Weight Watchers. I always felt like if you've lost weight and they like brought you up there to praise you or whatever, then that person felt that probably. But everybody else in the room was kind of like, if whoever you were with, maybe if you were with your friend, maybe you felt that with, but as a whole, it didn't feel like community, you know.
Yeah.
It felt like this is something I have to do, kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
It was a community you had to pay to be part of.
Exactly. Right.
And secretly they didn't want you to succeed because they wanted you to come back and give you more money.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. And don't you feel like a lot of, I mean, somebody may have had a bad experience with one person, I don't know, but for me personally, I have felt like all the experts in our community, all the doctors, all of the, weightlifter, nutritionists, all the people in our community that do speak at these different things, are so approachable and so nice, even through social media. I feel not just at an event, but like, do you feel that way too?
Absolutely. Let me tell you, at the PhD summit, I have like fangirled over Robert and Crystal Sykes for years. They were one of the first people that the first YouTubers that I started following when I first started back on keto, and I have followed their journey all the way through, Crystal's bodybuilding and their engagement, their wedding, and so I was really fangirling, and I was really nervous about going up and saying hi to them. But I finally did, and of course I blathered all over them and like embarrassed myself. But they were so kind and they were so kind. And then when I saw them again at KPL, I mean, they, still so nice. And even Crystal, like, I'm trying to learn. I want to start weightlifting. I want to start when I'm doing deadlifts and stuff like that. I'm not having much luck. Like, I'm really scared to do it at Planet Fitness or on my own. But, Crystal offered me, she's like, FaceTime me. I'll walk you through it. And I'm like, that's your living. That's what you, and she offered to help me with it. So, I mean, it's just.
She's an awesome lady. She has a group that's, I'll try to remember what it's called, but it's for women on Facebook. That is her Lady Savage group or whatever, and she'll go live in there sometimes or whatever. They're both just awesome people. I just love them. I met them the first time at KetoCon in, I guess it was 2019, the one before the one that got canceled, and I felt like I'd known them forever. It was just like immediately like these are my friends kind of people. That's how they are. And then when we were walking on the last day of Ketopalooza over the bridge, we were just having all these conversations, and they're really nice people. I really like them. I like most everybody in our community.
Yeah, like Nurse Cindy's great. I got to share a house with Nurse Cindy and Kim Howerton and Joe and Rachel, and I mean, everybody. It's just amazing. And they're genuine. They're the same as they are on camera as they are off camera.
So Brianna says, I got when I got my blood work done, I saw that 5.1 A1C, and I rushed to my phone to tell my keto friends before anyone else. I knew they would be just as excited as me. Even my family weren't as excited.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, it's good to have a support system in place. So you said your husband, well, obviously he's doing keto too. Differently a little bit, but he's doing keto, so he's very supportive. What about you have any other family that you have in your life?
Thank you for asking. It was really funny. At like January of this year, my father-in-law called me, and he's like, the doctor wants me to go on insulin because of my diabetes, and I ain't doing that. And he's like, I was looking around. I found this doctor on YouTube. He's got some sort of hick accent, but he sounds like he knows what he's doing. I think I'm going to try to follow what he's doing. And it was Dr. Berry. And he's like, he knew that I would have been keto for a bit. And he's like, have you ever heard of this guy? And I sent him the picture of me and Dr. Berry from Keto Friendsgiving. I'm like, yeah, maybe I know him. So my father-in-law has been doing it, and he was actually at KPL, which is one of my bestest memories of him being there with KPL with my husband and I and asking Dr. Berry a question. And now my brother-in-law is doing low carb, and he sent us a picture yesterday where he's finally under a goal weight that he had been reaching for. So yeah, it's growing, and it makes me so happy.
That's awesome. Because I know some people have family that are like on board, and like either they're doing it with you or they're not. They're adjacent, as we've heard put. They're keto adjacent. But then there's some people that have family. I remember when I first started, there were family members of mine that were like, "Well, it can't be good for you to eat that much fat, or it can't be." Just the little digs of things. And most of it was because they just don't know what they're talking about. They don't know that they haven't done their research. They don't know what keto is. But I know it's hard when you don't have that support in place.
Yeah. My mom is kind of like that.
Yeah.
Especially since I put all the weight back on. So, yeah.
Yeah, because then it proves that they were right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, they're not, but it makes them think that they're right. Is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that does. My husband does on and off dirty low carb, whatever he calls it. He really likes bread, so it's hard for him. I think it's kind of like the binging thing for him. Bread and like right this time of year, candy corn, which I can't stand, but he thinks is the best candy ever. It's like it's just he doesn't know how to say no to it. He's like, I'm just gonna, and if we're gonna go out to eat, I'm having a bun. I'm not gonna ask for not a bun on my burger or whatever. And but for him, he knows keto is the best way to eat, but he just he's gonna eat what he wants when he wants to eat it anyway. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he eats what I eat at home. It's when he's not here that it's usually the problem.
Yeah,
usually
my husband loves those low carb tortillas, so that's his crutch.
Yeah. Let's see what other comments we got here.
I see Jennifer's comment. It was such. I got to meet her at the Keto Ohio. Such a wonderful lady. I'm so glad I got to meet you, and I will definitely take you up on that.
Oh, Jennifer Lucas.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put hers up next too. Brianna said they just don't get it, that it's life changing.
Yeah, and it's a goal that you worked for and you accomplished. And I mean, yeah, it's not like you're gonna you can't see the goal of 5.1 AC, but it's still something important that you worked for.
Right, and they didn't have a problem when you were eating, McDonald's and Pop-Tarts or whatever, right? But when
Yeah.
you switch over to a certain way of eating that's helping your health, that's not like what they think it should be, then that's when they have a problem, I find.
Yep.
So I put her thing up there for you. So yeah, so she said, Jen, my birthday is Halloween. I'd consider it a gift if you'd reach out anytime you need a shoulder. That was very sweet.
I'll definitely take you up on that.
So how far was the drive to go to the Ohio event for you?
3 hours and 9 minutes, I think, was what our GPS. But it was so worth it. And got to see a lot of people that we had seen at Ketopalooza, and Maitreya and Dawn just put on this great event. Got to see Ready Set Keto, Emily and James and Noah. I mean, it's just I'll drive that far to see friends. I mean, and such important friends too. So
That's awesome that you were close enough that you could go to that one too. I like that. That's great. That's why only reason I probably went to KetoCon the 2 times that I have is because it's in the same state, and it just makes it easier. And I enjoy it, obviously, but it's so huge compared to these events, these smaller ones. So I definitely would like to go to some other ones that I haven't been to, just to compare. But I definitely, if we can convince Autumn, definitely we'll be back next year.
yeah,
Keto
I like how she caps it at 300, like to keep it small and intimate. I know like KetoCon is like 3,000 or whatever.
Oh yeah, there were less vendors at KetoCon this past year than there was original in the 2019 when I went. So it seemed like there was a lot less space used on the floor or whatever. But there were just as many speakers, and the speakers were great. And then of course, there's the hanging out with the people that you want to see, and everything. But yeah, it's definitely a huge event compared to Autumn's, and I really like that. Okay, let me put Heath up. He has a question.
Yeah. I personally do not plan on going to KetoCon. It's too close to the cruise, and also that week, I think it's the same weekend as Thunder over Louisville, and that is a big thing for my husband and I. It's the kickoff to the Kentucky Derby, and they shut down a bridge in Louisville, and they shoot fireworks off of it, and we've gone every year for the last 25 years. We missed a couple years, but it's our thing. Every couple has their thing that they look forward to every year, and so KetoCon will be great, I'm sure, but I'm going to save and hang out with my husband that weekend. The next thing I'll go to is the cruise, which I'm so excited about.
I would love to do that sometime. I haven't. It just, the timing of every time it's come up, it's just not. May is just kind of hard for me. But I would love to go sometime. I think it would be fun. I've been on a cruise. I've just never been on that cruise. But I will be at KetoCon, Heath. I already have my ticket. I did the early bird ticket because I'm not going to pass up that price. I'm not going to pay triple the price if I can get it for a lot cheaper.
So Heath, you're going to have to do a great job of documenting KetoCon and sharing your videos like you did last year.
Yeah, that's what we do. I mean, that's the best thing about having a channel is you can show people that didn't get to go some of the highlights, and then they can just be like, oh, okay, that looks like something I might want to be a part of, or oh wow, that looks, whichever they, but that's cool. But I'm excited about your other events that you were talking about, because that I'm sure the cruise is going to be amazing. And I'm betting the cruise feels very intimate, kind of like Ketopalooza, because of the way it's put together. It's not a huge event room type thing. It's a smaller community that usually goes. So
and it's 7 days. So it's like, it's not like, we had 3 days to kind of like try to jam everything in, and we're going to have 7 days to kind of like, I don't know, by the end of the cruise, maybe we'll be sick of each other. We'll be like, see you next year. See you next year.
Yeah. So she says that no cruise or KetoCon, I will be going to Gen Con in 2023. Geek life. Hey girl, I got you. My husband said that he would go. Remember they were going to have that one in San Diego, and I was talking to him about it, and he thinks going to keto conventions is he just thinks we're silly, but he's like, tell me where the comic book convention is, and I'll show up for that. Because like when they were going to have the one in San Diego, that's where they have Comic-Con, the big Comic-Con. And he was like, well, I'll go to that. I'm not going to KetoCon.
I would love to go to Gen Con sometime. I am a geek as well. But or Atlanticon or Dragon Con.
Well, I was just geeking out over the fact that Matt Smith was in Dallas at the event they had there this past weekend. It was a not Comic-Con, but something like that. I can't remember what it was called. Somebody probably knows. I didn't get to go, so I didn't pay attention to what it was.
Maitreya, get with me about, I have a couch. She says that she's poking friends for Crash Base with Thunder. I'm like, I have a couch, I have an air mattress. It's not fancy, but...
There you go, Maitreya. Gen Con, Board Games Plus. Okay. That sounds like fun, Maitreya. Cool deal. I like some board games, but I'm not a big. She would love my husband. They probably like all the same things. Cool. Anyone have any other questions for Jen? See if I missed any too.
I draw so much inspiration from everyone in this community, and if sharing my story or sharing my little videos or whatever helps anyone and makes a connection or inspires or helps anyone, I'm just happy. That's why I'm doing it. Because
that's what we're here for. I mean, that's what I feel like about my channel. I mean, I'm not a huge channel yet or anything, but that's what my channel is all about. I'm not here to roll in the big bucks. I'm here to share my journey, help other people that have had the same issues, and try to inspire,
my little board is inspired by you and Shelly with the Post-it notes. So
yeah, Shelly's Post-it notes. I love her Post-it notes. The only reason I don't do the Post-it notes is because I really don't have a blank wall. That is, well, this was my son's room, and so it's kind of turned into the grandkids' room. So I wouldn't put, this is supposed to become my office, but it hasn't happened yet. But there's just not another wall besides in this room where I could do it. And if I put it in here, I think they would start disappearing. I take them off the wall. I bought this whole, which was an awesome idea, and it was great. We got this dry erase magnet and put it on top of the freezer so that I could inventory all the stuff in my freezer, which is a great idea, right? So you know what you have, and you don't overbuy ground beef if you've got 10 packs of ground beef or whatever,
Right.
And my granddaughter got mad and she erased the whole thing. And I was like, and I haven't brought myself to redo it yet because I was like, all that work.
I was watching your videos and I'm like, grandkids? You can't have grandkids.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like I'm a young grandma. I mean, I hope I am. It's all that food keto food we eat, right?
Yeah. The butter makes you faster.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see what she put. Mary T. This is what's so great about this community. Everyone truly wants others to feel as good as they do. Yeah, we do.
Exactly.
We do.
There's no backbiting in this community. I've been in other different communities where it's backbiting or don't watch their channel, they're stupid, watch me over here. And there's none of that here. We just keep expanding and we just keep finding more room, and it's just great.
Keto grandma energy. Mary J says. Yep. There you go. I've got to have it, I wish I could bottle theirs. But and so what was I gonna say? There was a question that was on the tip of my tongue, and now I can't think what it is.
Oh.
Well, I'll think of it in a second. Somebody will remind me.
Yeah. So. The weight's coming off a lot slower this time, but I feel so much better, and the mental health is definitely the attitude, and the success in life is a lot better this time around. So I'm happy about that.
Nurse Cindy was a big influence for me in the first year and a half that I started keto, because I didn't have a lot of weight loss at first. Because my metabolism was shot, my thyroid is dead, and I'm, my age, you name a bunch of other millions of other reasons, menopause, and so watching Nurse Cindy really helped me, because talking to her, because she's just a darling, to someone who is going through the same things, and can be like, look, I haven't lost weight in 18 months, blah, blah, blah,
Right,
and then all of a sudden she started losing again. So that kind of gave me inspiration that just to stick with it and trust the process,
Right. Exactly. That's where I'm at now. I'm hoping that, maybe this BB&E will break the stall, but it's not the major reason I'm doing it. The major reason I'm doing it is because I love the mental health, the headspace I'm in now. And I just want to keep that going. I need to keep that going to be successful at my job and in my life and going forward. So.
Yeah, for sure. I think the mental, if you can't fix what's going on up here, doesn't matter what kind of weight loss thing you do, because you're going to go back to old habits. If you don't fix what's going on up here, why are you eating this? And why do you eat when you're sad, or why do you eat when you're mad or happy, or any of the things, because we're taught food is a celebration, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a celebration, it's a comfort, it's all these different things. So I think it's definitely you got to fix all that up there. Do you ever watch Dr. Now?
No, I've not.
Darn Pound Life.
Mm-mm.
I think I love watching that show, because they talk a lot about that on there, because some of these people, they go get the weight loss surgery about that on there, and then because some of these people, they go get the weight loss surgery about that on there, and then because some of these people, they go get the weight loss surgery about that on there. Some of these people, they go get the... Are we stuck? Hold on. We lost Jen. What just happened? Jen, get back on. Why is that coming up? Okay. I was like, what's going on? Okay. There she comes. There we go.
Sorry, my browser crashed. Technical difficulties.
I was like, I kept hearing myself again, and I was like, what's happening? But they talk about like these people get this weight loss surgery, and they think it's going to be a magic fix. Like they're like, don't have to do anything else ever again. and that's one of the things he talks about. Like, and he gets them into therapy and talks about how you have to fix up here. You can't just make your stomach smaller and it's going to magically,
Yeah,
everything's
if I had to do it again, that I would not have gotten weight loss surgery. I wish that I would have done, and I wish that more doctors would prescribe 90 days of BBB&E before weight loss surgery and see what happens.
I wish they would do. And he, Dr. Now, he doesn't prescribe keto to them, but he calls it 1,200. He puts them on a 1,200 calorie, low carb, high protein. So he's at least on the right direction, But he so at least it's low carb and high protein. Hi, Lizzie Drea. Nice to see ya. Let's see. Andrea, we are talking to Jen. If you're just joining, we are answering last minute questions. Anybody else have any questions? Michelle's back.
Yeah, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram if anybody has any. Just wants a friend.
Yeah, I can put your Facebook in the link later if you would like.
Yeah.
I'll try to figure that out. I might have to text Michelle. It's so fun. I'm still learning all this stuff. I figured out all the editing stuff and all that stuff on here, but doing these live streams is all new to me. Okay, so what does she have to say?
Yeah, I'm kind of social media stupid. I like get out there and post, and then that's about it. That's all I know how to do.
Let's see. Drea says, my husband had VSG in 2014, and my mom had Renwy way back in 2002, I think it was, and both do better with keto, but I can't make them not eat carbs and sugary stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's my mom is the same way. Well, she hasn't had weight loss surgery, but she's a diabetic and she won't give up her potatoes and her bread.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So do you guys that are doing BBBE, the triple B and E, I can't talk anymore. Specifically you, and everybody else can answer in the comments. So is this week 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Week 1. Do you guys have a loss of energy, or how are you feeling?
Well, Matrea just said she was tired, so.
There you go. Yeah.
I slept like crap last night, so well, pardon my language, but yeah, and I don't know if I just wasn't tired, and I never got into that deep sleep, so I don't know if that's because I have energy or what. So, yeah, but we'll see. Another reason I'm doing this is because I have been dealing with severe fatigue over the last couple months. Like I would go to the gym and get like a quarter of the way through my workout and just have to be like, my muscles would just be tired. Like I just could not continue. So I'm hoping that cleaning up the diet and the sleep will help with that. And I'm working on adjusting my thyroid medication and taking some supplements. So
Jennifer says she has too much.
All that helps.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. Jennifer says she has too much energy. It's hard to sleep, she said.
Mm-hmm.
And the Matrea says, yes, week 1, but I am weaning towards it. I am not tired from BBBE. I start work at 3 a.m. Well, gosh, girl, I'll be tired too.
Yeah, really.
So for me, carnivore, the first week, or I kind of because I got sick, and so I've kind of had like a off and on coughing thing going on at night.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's that or the carnivore that's making me not sleep good, but I slept great the first couple of nights. And this is week 2. So I'm sleeping a lot better now. but I am tired today.
Yeah, I saw your video that you were fighting a cold or a sinus issue or something.
Yeah.
So
It's the trouble when you have children around that get sick, then they,
yes.
they have to give it to you because that's the rules, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna see my niece and nephew this weekend, and I'm like just praying that like I come out unscathed. But that's okay.
So Drea says she knows she's in ketosis when I can't sleep but not tired, just have oodles of energy. So Jen, do you test your ketones at all?
I tested them yesterday, but I don't really worry about it too much, especially doing triple B and E. I'm not eating carbs. I have to be in ketosis. So
Right.
My ketones are, between a 0.8 and a 1.3 usually. So
mine are always low, and like for the past 2 years they've been like 0.3, 0.5. They never go up. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, if I'm doing carnivore or keto or whatever. But Dr. Berry said that because of I'm working out so much that I'm using them more.
Oh, okay.
And so when I'm testing, that's probably why it's not, and he said just basically put that thing away.
Yeah.
Because it can become, I don't know if you ever get obsessed with the scale, because I do. I don't like to weigh more than once a week because I get all obsessed about it, or get mad or whatever,
Yeah.
And so I try to not. I've gone a whole month without weighing before, just because I'm just like, and not because I'm doing bad stuff, but because it gets in my head.
Right.
The testing my ketones can be that way too. Like I'll just get like, oh, I'm going to test again this afternoon. Oh, I'm going to test tomorrow too.
Yes.
So I mean, and it just frustrates me because I never see that 1 point anything. So I'm just like, okay, well, I'll just test every now and then and try not to get mad about it.
I'm actually testing my blood sugars pretty regularly because that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do BB&E. I'm looking over at my chart now because my blood sugars, when I would test them, were always between 100 and 125. And before, when I did keto, they were between 80 to 100. And I thought maybe that was causing my stall because I've been bouncing the same 10 pounds since March. So now I am, I'm testing them throughout the day. So I'm hoping that they will steadily go down, and they have over the last 2 days. But I'm more worried about that than I am my ketones. My doctor's like, well, it's fine. You've got a A1C of 5.3 and you're overweight. And of course your blood sugar is going to be, but as long as it's under 125, it's fine. And I'm like, no, I want it to be better. It has to be better. So that's what I'm doing. And then with the scale, I measured before I started on Saturday morning. I measured, and I'm not going to measure again for a month. I don't want to get caught up in it. But I did get one of those body comp scales. So I'm starting to work. I want to work out, and really, I really want to weight lift. Like I really want to do. Like I have the plan. I just need to get over my fear of like the Smith machine or whatever it is.
Yeah. It took me so I used to do CrossFit, and I did it for like 6 years, and then I couldn't afford it anymore. So when I started going to Planet Fitness, those Smith machines were so intimidating to me because I didn't know how to set them up. I didn't know, like, I was like, what if someone's watching me? What if whatever,
Exactly.
And so then once I finally figured out how to do it and started doing it, I feel comfortable now. But yeah, I'm like Crystal. You can call me anytime, and I'll help you with it. Because that's the main thing. Once you do it, you'll be like, oh, okay, and you'll feel comfortable.
I asked the people at Planet Fitness to help, but they were like, I guess they weren't trainers, so they told me they couldn't help me. So it's like I watch videos. I'm looking for the collar. I need the collar to put on the weights so they don't fall off. And they were like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, okay. And then I couldn't get it all the way to the floor to do the deadlifts. And I'm like, how do I get the bar lower? And they could, and they just made me feel dumb.
Yeah.
So I went back and did my kettlebells.
Well, call me next time and I'll help you. We'll FaceTime or whatever. Or you can call Crystal too, either one. But it's just those hook things. You just have to hook them. And then when you lift, you hook it up and then you can push down. So once you feel it and do it, you'll get the rhythm and you'll figure it out. We have a new location and I went there to work out today. And the bars are much heavier on the Smith machines than they are at the other one.
Oh.
And the hooks are more like sturdy, so it's kind of awkward to get them off. But it's a good workout because it's a heavier bar.
Huh.
But yeah, we'll get you figured out.
And that's also like, I don't know where to start. So like, you know, I have that fear of like, I'm going to try to do a squat and then just fall.
Yeah. Well, I do have the advantage of having done CrossFit for so long, but I also, like you, watch all these other people. And I just look up stuff. Like so on because I do my first form workouts, and if I don't know what something is, I Google it, and there's usually a video, and then you can watch the video of someone doing it. And then I'm like, oh, that's what a Romanian deadlift is, or that's what a split squat is, or, whatever it is. And I'm like, okay. And then sometimes I'll be like, okay, there's no way I'm doing that, but whatever it is. But
yeah, like I have this workout that I want to do. Like it's a 2-day weightlifting workout. I don't know if you can, it's probably all blown out, but it's on JFit or
I have that app. Yeah.
And it's just a 2-day weightlifting for beginners. And that's all I want to do. It's nothing crazy. I just got to get over my fear and go and just, I look like a fool. Like maybe some guy will come over and offer to help me, or some girl at the gym will come, or I'll schedule a FaceTime.
Yeah, for sure. No worries. I would be glad to do it. And sometimes those things will tell you like different exercises to do, and for the machine or whatever, and then you're like, okay, where's that machine?
Yes, exactly.
Because like on the first form app, some of the machines that they'll tell you to use, they have that machine at Planet Fitness, but it's totally different or something. So I'll have to kind of figure out, okay, I got to do it this way, or I'm going to switch this out or do something different or whatever. So.
Yeah, I admire you for your CrossFit. I tried to do Coach Bronson had some stuff, but I guess it's exercise PTSD. It reminded me too much of like gym class, and I just didn't enjoy it, and I wasn't doing
right.
It just wasn't easy for me. I'd much prefer to work out on the machine, or and then now I want to do the weights. So I want to lift heavy stuff, as they say.
Yes, it makes you feel so like powerful. But my gym teachers in high school would probably be like, who is this girl? Because I found every way I could to get out of doing PE. I always had a note. I was either on my period or I had a note, was sick, something, because I didn't want to do it. And I just find it hilarious how different I am now. As far as now, I don't like to go to bed without having at least exercised in some way that day,
Mm-hmm.
So my mindset on that has definitely changed.
Yeah. And that's part of my challenge is 15 minutes, at least a walk or something a day. I just want to build the habit of movement. And of course, as soon as you do 15 minutes, you're probably going to do more. Like I always got to get over that it's about the 6 to 7 minute mark where I'm like, oh, this sucks. Why am I doing this? And then it starts like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
I enjoy this.
And what started it for me was that I during the pandemic, before we all went on lockdown and stuff, I worked out, but I didn't work out every day. I did maybe 3 days a week, maybe 4 days a week at the most. So I made myself a promise that I was going to exercise every day. I didn't matter what it was, but I was going to do something, because I figured if I'm going to be stuck, not being able to go places, I need to help my mental health by doing that. Because it was more about my mental health than just my physical health doing the exercise. It was about the adrenaline making how it makes you feel better.
So the endomorphins
yes.
or whatever it is.
Yeah, for sure. So Matreya said she can also help you with her with your exercise as well.
Awesome. See, I am the only one holding me back. I get it. There's help out there. I just need to reach out for it.
For sure. I mean, I ask for help all the time, because I mean, I haven't got I'm working on coaching and all that for nutrition, but I haven't got my certification for any of it. I'm working on it, but the fitness part for me is the big learning curve. I've had to because when I first started without CrossFit anyway, because CrossFit, they just tell me what to do and I would just do it. Right. But in a gym, it's like, okay, so when should I do arms? When should I do legs? When should I do abs? When should I do, how do I know what things to do? How many to do? How much weight to do? All those things, you're kind of like, and then you see all these things online and you're like overwhelmed by, okay, so do I do like pull day, push day, combo day, blah, blah, blah day, whatever, and so mine has evolved definitely over time.
It's just like keto, right? There's all these eat protein, eat 1-to-1, eat more fat, fast, don't fast, whatever, coffee's good, so it's just a lot of noise, and I think that's, it's that experimentation you have to do on yourself and figuring it out and using your resources like your friends who are offering to help.
Yeah. And she said, asking for help is the hardest. Definitely. I think it's that way with exercise, but with food too. With anything, really, it's always hard to ask for help if you feel vulnerable, because it's a scary thing sometimes. But we're all here.
Yeah, just you don't know how to do it yet. You are growing and healing and learning, and everyone wants you to succeed. You are not being bothered by asking help.
Right. In my
own head.
Yeah, for sure. Your biggest competition is you, not anyone else. And one of the biggest things, I don't know about you, that I had to figure out with my weight loss journey is that I had to stop comparing my weight loss journey to other people's, because I would get, like you said, FOMO. I would get like mad because I could not get my scale tube like this person did, or I could not eat like a lot of dirty keto stuff and lose weight. I had to be clean all the time. You know what I mean? Or I couldn't get my muscles to look like this person or whatever. So I finally was like, you know what? I'm done doing that. I have to just be looking at me and not how I can be like this person,
Oh yeah. It always, like, I'm always happy when people are like, oh, I just started, the weight just melted off. I lost 60 pounds without thinking about it. Like, yay for you. Every pound is a hard won loss, and then I have to it's probably going to come back next week, and then I'll have to lose it again.
Right. Yeah, that is definitely something I've had to get over for sure.
That's okay. I guess I just keep reminding myself I'm not here for the weight loss. I'm here for the health and mental health and the community and just the feeling good, and the weight loss is a bonus if it happens.
Yeah, for sure. That's my biggest thing too, especially with people who were keto and aren't keto anymore. I mean, everybody can eat how they want to. I'm not going to villainize people for not eating keto. But for me, like you said, it's more about your health and not just about the weight loss. Yes, the weight loss, if we need to lose weight, yes, we want to lose weight. But that will come when we fix the other stuff, by healing your your gut and all the things that you've done damage to, all our lives. And so it boggles me when people go back to eating, or they go to a different way. I don't know, that's not very healthy.
Exactly. I understand some people become metabolically stable where they can indulge in a treat every now and then and it not, hurt them. Like, like somebody like Goody Beats or somebody, they can, or even 80 keto, they can have an off-plan meal and not suffer. But, to do that over and over and over again. And I see so many people
Right.
that put back on the weight and bring back those same health problems. And it doesn't come off as easy the second time.
Yeah, it doesn't. And you've done more damage too when we do that. But everybody has those times. There's one.
Hi, Shelly.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but had y'all on the big screen. Well, we appreciate it.
Yep.
And that's Shelly, you said, the warden?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. She also said, same, it's a struggle sometimes.
Yeah, I know Shelly has, we've commiserated over the fact that the weight just sometimes just doesn't move. And you're like, yeah, I mean, yes, it's okay. I'm healthy and everything, but it does, everybody has a bad day where it's like, man, why won't the scale just move? But
yeah, and for me, like, especially when you start weightlifting too, it's like you have to take into account that you're also building muscle. So then, yes, the scale is going to eventually go down, but in the meantime, you're building muscle, so it's kind of meeting in the middle for a little bit, and then it'll go down, start burning the fat, and the more muscle you build, the more fat you burn, and better your metabolism is, and all those things. So it's so hard to wrap your brain around it sometimes.
That's why I invested in a body comp scale. I didn't get a top of the line one, but I think that it'll do good well enough for me.
Yeah, I had a DEXA scan at KetoCon, and I'm excited to get another one when I go back and see if there's a difference. So Drea says, I'm struggling this time, but I am older and postmenopausal now. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, I mean, that's why I'm here for people, is because if you have never had any hormonal issues or autoimmune issues or any of that stuff, then, or other health issues, then you get on keto and you're like easy breezy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those people can just do lazy, dirty keto. Don't. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing lazy keto or dirty keto. That if it works and that's what makes you feel good, then do it. But for me personally, it does. I cannot do that because I just don't go. It doesn't go anywhere for me. But the hormones are the biggest thing. I think if your hormones are out of whack, you're not going to lose weight anyway. So that's the first thing. One of the first things you need to address if you're having trouble.
Yep, I understand, and it is annoying when it doesn't want to come off, but that's where you have to just the time is going to pass anyway. You need to like experiment and figure out new things and figure out what's going to work for you.
Yeah. So Brianna said, it's so frustrating. I'm healthier than before lockdown, but I'm still up 30 pounds. It just doesn't want to come off. Yeah, it will. Have you ever watched Nurse Cindy's video with the water balloons? Brianna,
yeah.
You should watch it, Brianna, if you haven't. It really opened up my mind for that reason. I was like, okay, that gives me a little hope. It will come. It will come. Let's see. Shelly says,
oh yeah, I have a, you know, now that I'm in this better headspace, I'm doing all the self-care things, like all those well woman appointments and all those getting all the lab works and all done. And so, yeah, I'm addressing that too, Shelly. I gotta see how things are going. I'm gonna have a well woman exam to test all that stuff out too.
Yeah. I go to a nurse practitioner. I call her my doctor, but she's a nurse. I mean, she's my doctor, but she's a nurse practitioner. And she's very keto, uh, not keto friendly, but she does keto herself. Um, she promotes keto, paleo, those two diets she thinks are the best way you could be eating. And she keeps thankfully for her, she's gotten my hormones straightened out, because that's the biggest thing. Like, if your hormones are any way off, you're not going to lose weight anyways, as much as you try or do, or are as strict as you could be, as strict as can be, and it's not going to happen, because your body's just going to be like, nope. So I always encourage people who are having if it's a real stall, like a long stall, to get their hormones, get their thyroid and their other hormones, their estrogen, progesterone, all of those things tested, testosterone, vitamin D, all of that stuff.
Thank you for that advice.
Yeah, definitely. And even also try to find someone who is low carb friendly if you can, because they will be more open minded to, more than likely, of thinking outside the box. And so, because most of these endocrinologists are taught, like for your thyroid, they have this little chart, kind of just like our weight chart, right? They have this little chart to what your thyroid levels should be in, and if it fits in between these two numbers, then you're good. But some people are over here just a little bit, maybe they're on the edge, and so they'll say, oh, you're fine, but they actually might need more things. So
that's what I just talked to my doctor. I just talked to my doctor because I was having all these issues, and when I looked them up, it seemed to be like maybe I was being over medicated for my thyroid. So my medication was up for a renewal, so I had my doctor knock it down, and I've already, it's been since Friday, I noticed a vast difference. And what this does now is, in 30 days, I'm going to go to my doctor and tell him I want a full thyroid panel, not just T4. I want the full panel. So
right, and then they tend to just do the basic, right? Yeah. And so, I remember when I was going to endocrinologist, and I would go in there, and this is way before I was keto or paleo, and I was doing Weight Watchers and stuff like that, and I would be so mad and say, I'm not losing any weight. Something is not balanced. Something's not working. And he would just look at me and he would say, well, you must be cheating, because your thyroid is fine. Your numbers are fine. And I would get so mad. I would leave his office and go cry in the car, because I was like, I'm counting my points. I'm walking every day. I'm doing, all the things they tell you to do. Nothing is working. And I would get so frustrated. And I don't know, I could have quit so many times and just given up and just been like, you know what? I'm just going to eat the bag of Cheetos, or I'm just done with all this,
Not working anyway.
Finally, I somehow went to a nurse practitioner for the first time. And then it really opened my mind, because I was like, oh, she's actually listening to me. Mm-hmm. She's like listening to me and trying to figure out what's going on, and actually going to see what's going on, besides, that she thinks I'm cheating on my diet, And so, yeah, you definitely have to find someone who will listen.
That's my general doctor is like, his first response is usually, well, I guess keto's not working for you. Let's try something else. And it's like, nope. Nope, yeah. We're not trying something else.
Yeah, and Brianna said, I put the wrong one up. I meant to put the 90% fat. Where'd it go? Is what she's doing that makes her feel better, I think. What happens when you're blind?
Yeah, Shelly was saying that she was doing 90% fat. Wow.
Yeah. That's the only way she can get things to move, right? Is that what she said? Okay, I'm trying to find that comment.
Hi, Kelly. I see you.
Yeah. So hi, Kelly. Welcome. Better late than never, right? No worries. All right. Does anyone have any last minute questions? Because we're going to probably wrap it up here in a minute. Because I know Jen probably has. It's later there than it is here.
Yes.
And
I have drained like 3 things of water, so.
Okay. I drank a LaCroix too, so we probably both are going to have to make a run for it here in a few minutes. Mary has a. I can remember saying I cannot lose weight eating cookies, so I go back to eating the cookies. Yeah. So coming up on my channel, guys, I just want to give you a little heads up of things that are coming along, and then we'll kind of get a little wrap up here. If you have any last minute questions, put them in. We'll get those. But I have a couple things coming up. I have 2 collabs coming up. One is going to be with Dawn. Dawn does keto. We're going to do a burger collab. So we're going to both make a different kind of burger, try to spice it up, make it different. So for those of you not doing triple B&E, you can make this burger after you are not. Or you can just make you one and make this for your hubby or something, which is what I'm going to do because I'm not. But they are, they're going to be a couple of different keto recipes for that. So those are burger recipes. And then the first week in November, Michelle and I Michelle at Life Adventures in Keto, who is on here, excuse me, we're going to do a holiday recipe. So that will come out the following Friday, which is November 4th. So I think Dawn and I's is going to come out next Friday. Is that the 28th? I believe, yeah. And then the following Friday on the 4th will be the holiday one. So those will be some fun things coming up. Probably some other stuff sprinkled in between. I think that's it. I needed to announce. Let me see if there was anything else. Those 2 collabs. Yeah, that was it. I had to write stuff down.
Yeah, I had notes written that I wanted to make sure I covered.
Kelly wants to know if you're going to do lives.
I don't know. That sounds scary. I was nervous about tonight, but I'm so thankful to be here.
Yeah. I told you it would just be like sitting down with our friends, right?
Yeah.
It's fun. Does she mean like on your Facebook, I wonder?
Yeah, probably. Because like I said, I'm not.
Record them?
Yeah. I record them and then I don't even watch them. I don't edit them. I don't know how to edit. I just, you get me. You get the real me because.
Well, that's what's important.
If I watch it back, I would be too self-critical.
Yeah. I know how you feel. I'm like, when you're on video too, it like your body looks a little different. So like whenever I watch my YouTube videos, sometimes I'll watch them just because I want to make sure it uploaded okay and that the sound all looked and sounded right. And I'm just like, because you just look different on video than you do like in person, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
I'm critical of myself, so I know what you're saying. But if you ever decide to, we got your back. We'll help you figure it out if you wanted to.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, no problem. Well, guys, thanks for coming on here with us. And Jen and I really appreciate every one of you guys that came on. And anybody coming over to my channel, I super appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. It helps the video and get, shot up in the analytics of crazy YouTube. And if you guys would sub to the channel, that'd be awesome too. And give Jen a big thank you for coming, and we so appreciate it. And we have so enjoyed listening to your story and your journey, and just we love all of our friends we've made and all the things since we went to Ketopalooza for sure.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for having me on.
You're welcome. I've so enjoyed it. So Jen and I are going to say goodbye and go into the studio for a minute. And we thank you guys so much. So we're going to say, see you later. Let me end our broadcast.